What if aliens do not look like humans at all? What if they can appear as glowing spheres, change their size whenever they want, and travel inside a single round spacecraft? One unusual account describes alleged aliens arriving on Earth, not as frightening monsters, but as silent observers who listen to lessons about the universe. According to this story, some of them were only 1 foot tall, while others could become 5 or even 10 feet tall. So, what did these alleged aliens look like? What was their body shape? And why were they described as round rather than humanoid? Today, we will explore this fascinating account and separate the story from what science has actually confirmed. A different image. When most people imagine aliens, they picture a familiar image: a thin body, long arms, large eyes, and a human-like shape. This image has become popular through movies, television, science fiction books, and alleged UFO encounter stories. But not every claim describes aliens in that way. In the account we are examining, the beings were said to have mostly round forms. They were not described as having a permanent human body with fixed arms and legs. Instead, they were described as glowing, spherical beings, almost like living dots of light or energy. The story claims that their bodies were made from what the speaker called higher elements, rather than ordinary physical matter. This would mean their appearance was not fixed in the same way as a human body. They could supposedly become smaller or larger simply through thought or intention. That is a very different idea from the traditional image of an extraterrestrial visitor. How did they look? According to the account, these alleged aliens could appear in several different sizes. Some were described as approximately 1 foot tall. Others could appear around 2 feet tall. Some were described as 5 feet tall, while others could become as tall as 10 feet. The important detail is that their size was believed to be changeable. They were not supposedly limited by a permanent body. The speaker explained this ability as a result of their powerful thoughts. In other words, their physical form could change according to their intention. Imagine looking at a glowing sphere in a dark room. At first, it appears to be the size of a small ball. Then, within moments, it expands into a much larger shape. According to this story, something similar happened with these beings. They could become smaller, larger, brighter, or less visible. But there is an important distinction here. This is an extraordinary personal account, not a scientifically verified observation. NASA says that no credible evidence has confirmed extraterrestrial life, and unexplained objects in the sky are not automatically evidence of aliens. One sphere, many beings. One of the most unusual parts of this story involves the alleged UFO itself. A question was asked: if 10 aliens arrived, would there be 10 separate spheres? The answer was no. According to the account, 10 beings could arrive inside a single round object. This object was described as small, almost like a room from the inside. Some versions of the craft were said to appear like glowing spheres. Others were described as objects made of light. The account also mentions different types of energy or elements associated with these spacecraft. Some were supposedly connected to a higher spiritual element. Others were described as containing light or a combination of 3 elements. To the observer, these craft may not have looked like conventional airplanes or rockets. There were no visible wings, engines, or ordinary aircraft structures. Instead, they were described as round, luminous, and mysterious. This is one reason the traditional term flying saucer became popular in UFO culture. However, the shape of an unidentified object alone cannot prove where it came from. A sphere in the sky could be a natural phenomenon, a drone, an aircraft seen from an unusual angle, or something that has not yet been identified. When did encounters begin? The account places these experiences in the late 1990s. The speaker says that the encounters began around 1998 and continued through 1999, 2000, 2001, and later years. At first, only 1 or 2 alleged visitors were said to appear. Later, the story claims that more beings began arriving. Some were reportedly seen near an ashram or spiritual learning center. The speaker described teaching classes about the universe. During these classes, the alleged beings were said to sit quietly in the back and listen. They did not supposedly interrupt the lesson. Instead, they observed and paid close attention. The story claims that they were particularly interested in lessons about the universe, galaxies, solar systems, and different cosmic realms. This creates an interesting question. Why would advanced beings from another galaxy, or even another universe, come to Earth to listen to a class? The explanation in the account is that knowledge may continue to expand, even for beings believed to be highly advanced. Perhaps, in this story, they were not visiting Earth to attack or invade. They were visiting to observe, learn, and communicate. Visitors from other worlds? The account says that these beings may have come from other solar systems, galaxies, or even other universes. They were described as having already experienced or observed many parts of existence, yet they were still interested in learning more about the universe. This idea appears frequently in science fiction. Advanced civilizations may travel across space, not only for resources, but also for knowledge. But science has not yet confirmed visitors from other worlds. NASA's current position is that extraterrestrial life has not been discovered, and there is no scientifically supported evidence proving that UFOs or UAP are alien spacecraft. UAP means unidentified anomalous phenomena. The word unidentified is very important. It means that an observation has not been explained yet. It does not automatically mean extraterrestrial. That difference is essential when discussing aliens and UFOs. A mysterious sighting may be exciting, but an exciting claim still requires reliable evidence. We need clear photographs, multiple independent witnesses, physical material, radar data, and scientific analysis before reaching a strong conclusion. Where did they go? After the alleged visitors finished observing the classes, the story says they disappeared. But they supposedly did not leave Earth in an ordinary way. Instead, they moved into what the speaker called a subtle or invisible realm. Some were said to remain approximately 50 kilometers above Earth. Others were described as being 100 or even 200 kilometers above the planet. Their spacecraft were also said to move upward and remain hidden from ordinary observation. From the perspective of the story, these beings were not necessarily living on the ground. They were observing Earth from a higher level of existence. The speaker also suggested that their spacecraft could cross beyond the solar system. But later, the account clarified that many of them remained in a subtle realm above Earth. This mixture of spiritual ideas, extraterrestrial visitors, and UFO sightings makes the story especially unusual. It does not describe aliens only as biological creatures from another planet. Instead, it presents them as beings connected to energy, consciousness, light, and other dimensions. What were their bodies made of? The account repeatedly describes the alleged visitors as having bodies made from a special or higher element. Their forms were said to be different from the human body. They did not need ordinary biology to survive. They were not described as having fixed bones, muscles, or organs. Instead, their bodies were presented as flexible forms of energy or thought. This could explain why they were believed to change their size. A human body cannot instantly transform from 1 foot to 10 feet tall. But if a being were made of energy, light, or a non-physical substance, the story suggests that transformation might be possible. The alleged visitors were also described as appearing as dots, spheres, or glowing forms. In some cases, they were said to become visible enough for people to notice. In other cases, they supposedly remained difficult to see. This raises another fascinating question. Were these objects actually physical spacecraft, or could they have been visions, dreams, spiritual experiences, or misidentified lights? Without independent evidence, we cannot know. The scientific method requires testing the physical explanation against other possibilities. Other beings in the story. The account also mentions beings from a subtle world who allegedly arrived with the visitors. These were described as invisible or spiritual entities. The speaker compared them to figures people might encounter in dreams or describe as ghosts. According to the story, these beings came to observe the classes as well. However, they supposedly could not understand the lessons in the same way. This creates two different categories of visitors. First, the alleged aliens or advanced beings who could communicate and observe. Second, the subtle entities that were said to watch, but not fully understand what was happening. This combination makes the narrative feel less like a conventional UFO report and more like a spiritual science fiction story. It includes alien contact, glowing spacecraft, multiple dimensions, changing body sizes, and invisible beings. These ideas can be very powerful for storytelling, but they should be presented as claims or beliefs, not as established scientific facts. NASA's UAP research has found no conclusive evidence that these unexplained sightings have an extraterrestrial origin. What could aliens really look like? So what might real aliens look like? The honest answer is that we do not know. Life on another world could be microscopic, ocean-based, plant-like, or completely unlike anything on Earth. Even on our own planet, life exists in astonishingly different forms. Some organisms live near volcanic vents. Some survive extreme temperatures. Some can remain dormant for long periods. If life exists on another planet, its appearance would depend on its environment. Gravity, atmosphere, temperature, radiation, and available chemicals could all influence its body. A creature on a high-gravity planet might be short and strong. A creature in a low-gravity environment might evolve a taller or lighter body. An intelligent species might develop technology without looking human at all. So, while the round, glowing aliens in this story are unverified, the idea that alien life could look completely different from humans is scientifically reasonable. What is not yet proven is whether such beings have visited Earth. Final perspective. The story we explored describes alleged aliens as round, glowing, and capable of changing their size. They could supposedly appear as 1 foot, 5 foot, or 10-foot beings. 10 of them could allegedly travel inside one spherical craft. They were said to observe spiritual classes, listen to lessons about the universe, and disappear into subtle realms above Earth.
It is a fascinating account, but it remains an account. There is currently no confirmed scientific evidence that these beings exist, or that UFOs are extraterrestrial spacecraft. That does not mean life beyond Earth is impossible. It simply means we must separate imagination, personal experience, and evidence. The universe is enormous, and the search for alien life is still continuing. Perhaps the first aliens we discover will not look like humans, gray creatures, or glowing spheres. Perhaps they will be something so unexpected that we do not even recognize them as life at first. Conclusion and call to action. So, how do aliens look? Based on this unusual story, they may appear as round, glowing beings whose size can change through thought. Based on science, however, we still do not have confirmed evidence of aliens visiting Earth. The mystery remains open. What do you think? Could advanced aliens appear as energy beings or glowing spheres? Or are most UFO stories better explained by psychology, technology, or natural phenomena? Share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy deep stories about aliens, UFO sightings, space science, and the mysteries of the universe, subscribe for more videos. Because the next discovery could change the way we understand life beyond Earth.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to Palsa Lab, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. At Palsa Lab, we explore space, science, astronomy, AI, and emerging tech, bringing clear explanations and fascinating discoveries. Have a question or idea? Drop it in the comments. Stay curious, keep exploring, and thanks for watching. See you next time.